Every member of the esteemed audience. We have gathered here today for the release of a book that is very, very relevant to the times we are living in more than ever. The pandemic has forced all of us, the entire world in fact, out of our comfort zones to find new innovative methods of survival and of dealing with these unprecedented times. So in this context, it is most relevant that we are gathered here today for the release of the book, Avishkarada Harihara, a translation of Thou Shalt Innovate. I will talk about the book a little later, but before that, let's put our hands together to welcome all the dignitaries and the guests for this evening's event. Dr. E.V. Ramana Reddy, IAS, Additional Chief Secretary to Chief Minister and Department of Electronics, IT, BT, and SNT, Government of Karnataka. A very warm welcome, sir. To Mr. Jonathan Zatka, Consul General, Israel to South India. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Shri Prashant Prakash, Chairman, Vision Group on Startups and Partner Accel. Welcome, sir. Shri Vishweshwar Bhatt, Editor-in-Chief, Vishwavani Daily, and MD, Vishwakshara Media Private Limited. A very warm welcome to you too, sir. So I would like to request at the outset, Ms. Srimati Meena Nagraj, Director, Department of Electronics, IT and BT, and Managing Director, K-BITS, Government of Karnataka, to kindly present her opening address. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. E.V. Ramana Reddy, Additional Chief Secretary to CM and ACS to Electronics, ITBT and SNT. Sir, Consulate General, Israel to South India, Mr. Jonathan Zatka. Shri Prashant Prakash, Chairman, Vision Group on Startups. Shri Vishweshwara Bhatt, Editor-in-Chief, Vishwavani Daily and author of this book. A warm welcome to all the members gathered here today for the launch of the Kannada translated version of the book, Thou Shalt Innovate, written by Mr. Avi Jorish and translated by Mr. Vishweshwara Bhatt. At the outset, I take this opportunity to thank the Consulate General of Israel and his team for liaising to have the keynote speech of Mr. Avi Jorish at our recently concluded the Bangalore Tech Summit event. India and Israel have always maintained a close relationship which has only been growing. Israel has also been a key GIA partner for Government of Karnataka. Karnataka-Israel Program for Industrial Research and Development between the MATI-MOP and K-STEPS for providing financial support for collaborating industrial R&D ventures between Karnataka and Israel companies has been one of the key ventures. Under this initiative, we have funded projects in the area of mobile applications, bioinformatics, green technology, and nanotechnology. Even amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, a knowledge transfer webinar through the GIA Tech Engagement Meet was conducted with Israel on cybersecurity, where Karnataka stakeholders had the opportunity to witness Israel as a cybersecurity powerhouse, and startups also identified platform to consider it if they would like to expand operations in Israel. We have gathered here today to celebrate yet another joint collaboration between Karnataka and Israel through this book launch. Our gratitude is firstly extended to Mr. Jonathan Zatka, who has not only led this initiative but also been a key partner in journey of Karnataka and Israel partnership. Ever since he took charge as Consul General of Israel to South India in Bengaluru, we have had the privilege of working and interacting on multiple occasions. Thou Shalt Innovate is a story of Israelis who exude light in the face of darkness, about people who have chosen hope and healing over death and destruction. These stories are a ray of light, and it is the innovation soup of the soul. This book indeed will be a guiding path for all the innovators who wish to grow and achieve new heights. This book owes due credit to Mr. Avi Jorish, whose thought of showcasing Israel technologies and innovation to the rest of the world has led to many inspired entrepreneurs to follow suit. As you all are aware, we are here to celebrate the launch of the Kannada translated version of the book, and this has been possible due to the efforts of a member of our Karnataka ecosystem, Mr. Vishweshwara Bhatt. We are glad that through his contributions, the book has now reached the hands of larger network of entrepreneurs in Karnataka. It is great to note that in addition to being a renowned author, Mr. Bhatt, along with other roles of being a leading print and television media entrepreneur, he was able to devote his time for carrying out this translation work. Innovation is widely recognized as a central driver for economic growth and development. State of Karnataka has developed a very innovative and colorful character over the past few years, and it continues to grow. So let us continue to join hands to reach across traditional boundaries and divides to support policies and drive innovation, befitting both our country, our own communities, and more broadly, society at large. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Ashwath Narayan, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister and Minister for Higher Education, Electronics, IT and BT and SNT. A very warm welcome, sir. So that was Srimati Meena Nagraj, Director, Department of Electronics, IT and BT, and Managing Director, KITS. I would now request Mr. Jonathan Zatka, Consul General, Israel to South India, a special guest here, to kindly address the audience.
Thank you very much, Meena. Just remind me next time not to follow a speech after you. I think you've made my some of the things that I would say redundant. Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Dr. Ashwath Narayan, Dr. Ramana Reddy, Additional Chief Secretary to the Chief Minister and Department of Electronics, IT, BT, and SNT, Mr. Prashad Prakash, Chairman of Vision Group, and of course, Vishweshwar Bhatt, Editor-in-Chief of Vishwavani Daily. Thank you very much for inviting us today to this event. Elevate Unnati is indeed impressive evidence to the innovation promotion activity taken by Karnataka. Saying that, one cannot ignore the fact that Karnataka has been recognized as the most innovative state in India for 2 years in a row. And we are very proud with our ongoing innovation-driven cooperation with Karnataka and with so many of the particular people that are sitting here today with us. I'm so happy that during such an event we can release the Kannada translation of the bestseller by Avi Yurish, Thou Shall Innovate, by which I can, for one thing, keep my promise that I've made to the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister. In some languages, it appears that translation can add some added value to the actual original. When looking at the translation to Kannada, retranslating it back to English, I think even the headline that you have chosen was very much captured the essence of Israeli-driven innovation. And even the name of the author makes more sense in Kannada than it does in English. So I assume this is not necessarily an attribute to the language, but also to the one that actually taken the task of translating the book. This is, I think, a wonderful opportunity to say thank you very much for the ongoing cooperation by the people that are driving innovation in Karnataka. Deputy Chief Minister and the different ministries in the Karnataka government, and our very good partners in different places. We are honored and privileged to have such a wonderful partner, and I hope that together, Israel and Karnataka, we can continue developing innovation-driven activities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. We have next Shri Prashant Prakash, Chairman Vision Group on Startups and Partner Axel. I request you, sir, to present a few words.
Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. Ashwath Narayan, Honorable, the Deputy Counsel for Israel, Jonathan, ACS, Dr. Ramana Reddy, Mr. Vishweshwar Bhatt, Mrs. Meena Nagraj. So I think there's probably two streams of innovation that is happening in India. One stream of innovation is innovation for the masses. There are multiple names for this: frugal innovation, reverse innovation, conscientious innovation. And this is innovation by the people, for the people, right? And while the government is always there as an enabler and a facilitator, innovation has to come from people who are closer to the problems. And these are very deep-rooted, intractable societal problems. And it is only people who experience these problems on a day-to-day basis who can find the right innovative solutions for them. India has this unique advantage that once we provide these solutions in India in very difficult environments, our environments are harsh, our customers are it's very difficult to make money from our customers. It's technology here, to make money in technology here, you really need large scale. Aadhaar is a good example of the platform. Once you do all this, when we build technology for scale, for the 600, 700 million people, Indians, this same technology can be repurposed to the other 2 to 3 billion people in emerging countries. And I think that's a unique opportunity. When we work on frugal innovation here, we can not only help these, whether it's agri-tech or ed-tech or health-tech, you can change the lives of millions of people globally. And that's the soft power that our Honorable Prime Minister now perceives from our youth and perceives from the next generation of entrepreneurs. But India is unique. It's not only this mass entrepreneurship, but deep tech and the next generation of more sophisticated entrepreneurship is going to serve not only people in our country, but people across the globe. Enterprise, SaaS is a good example. EV technologies is a good example. Spacecraft. There are multiple such areas where Indian entrepreneurs will build in India for the rest of the world. So this dual engine of mass entrepreneurship and deep tech entrepreneurship positions us in a very unique position for the next 10, 15 years. And I think it's a great opportunity for our youth and our state, which is the hotbed of innovation, Karnataka, to really flourish and do good for our state and for our nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. With that, I request now Shri Vishweshwar Bhatt, Editor-in-Chief, Vishwavani Daily and MD, Vishwakshara Media Private Limited, to share his experiences of translating this wonderful book.
Elrigu Namaskara. Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Dr. Ashwath Narayan, Honorable Consul General of Israel to South India, Mr. Jonathan Jadka, Honorable Additional Chief Secretary, Dr. Raman Reddy, Honorable Chairman, Vision Group on Startups, Shri Prashant Prakash, Madam Meena Nagaraj, other dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. I'm extremely happy to present my Kannada version of Thou Shalt Innovate, written by Avi Yorish. In fact, the exact translation is better in meaning in Kannada than original in English. It is Avishkarada Harikara. Avishkara means innovation, and Harikara means pioneer or leader of the leaders. I am happy to say that I have visited Israel 9 times in the last 9 years on various assignments covering different subjects, including startups, agriculture, water management, defense, etc. I am really fascinated and moved by the Israeli culture, history, tradition, innate ability to innovate, which attracted me closer to Jewish land. In fact, I have been writing an independent book on Israel based out of my visits and experiences I had while traveling the length and breadth of the country and interacting with people. Meanwhile, I came across a well-researched book on Israeli innovation written by Avi Yorish and decided to introduce this content to Kannadigas. I must acknowledge my appreciation for Mrs. Dana Kirsch and Mr. Ariel Seidman for helping me to connect to Avi Yorish while getting the permission. I'm also thankful to Mr. Jonathan Jedka for his gracious help for the Kannada book to see what it is today before you. I strongly feel that it is an important book for Indians in general and Kannadigas in particular as to how a small country like Israel made tremendous strides in the field of technology, medicine, healthcare, defense, water management, agriculture, banking, etc. This book outlines the roadmap for how Israeli innovation while making the world a better place and how other countries and people can learn from it and follow the suit. The singular striking point of this book is that it will provide tremendous hope for the future. We can all celebrate Israelis' incredible technological contributions that improve the state of humanity. This is my 70th book, and I can self-vouch that it makes a very gripping narration and wonderful reading. I can also vouch that you will enjoy the translation and feel that it is not a translation, but the original work in Kannada. So I make use of this opportunity to present a small presentation to our Honorable Deputy Chief Minister. I strongly urge Honorable DCM, who is also a Minister for Higher Education and who was a medical practitioner, an avid reader, highly literate, and thinking politicians, to purchase this book and ensure that it is made available to all the students in the state to inspire and ignite young minds towards innovation. I sincerely thank the organizers of this wonderful program who provided me an opportunity to release my book. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Thank you very much, sir. So we now come to the crux of the program, the release of the book. I request the dignitaries to kindly assist in releasing this book, Avishkarada Harihara. Release of the Kannada translation, Avishkarada Harikara, written originally by Mr. Avi Yorish. The book highlights innovations in agriculture, medicine, water and defense, among other areas. A big congratulations to the author from all of us here. And this is indeed a milestone in the relationship between Israel and India. Thank you very much. I would now like to request Honorable Deputy Chief Minister and Minister for Higher Education, Electronics, Information Technology, Biotechnology and Science and Technology, Dr. Ashwath Narayan, to kindly share a few words with us.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Good afternoon. On the occasion of releasing of the Kannada version of Avishkarada Harikara, release of the book, Kannada version, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our Honorable Consulate General of Israel, Mr. Jonathan, and our Additional Chief Secretary for CM, as well as for the ITBT and Science and Technology, Dr. Raman Reddy, Chairman of the Vision Group, Prashant Prakash, and our man who is responsible, who is the center of attention, who has made a difference by bringing out a Kannada version of Avishkarada Harikara to inspire the people of Karnataka how to adapt or take up the innovation in their profession, in their lives, is very important. The good practices, what has been done in Israel, it's been put across and very effectively in Kannada, and it's become a more of a virginal version. I would like to congratulate our Vishweshwar Bhatt, Editor-in-Chief for Vishwavani. I would like to acknowledge his presence. ತಮ್ಮ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಗೌರವಿಸಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಿಟ್ಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಮೀನಾ ನಾಗರಾಜ್ and Deputy Consulate General and other dignitaries who have assembled here, friends from media, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು. ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್ ದೇಶ ಅಲ್ಪಾವಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯ ಸವಾಲಿನ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ, ಶತ್ರುಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಸುತ್ತ ಇರುವಂಥವರು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಶತ್ರುಗಳೇ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದಿದೆ. ಅಂಥ ಒಂದು ಭಯಾನಕವಾದಂಥ ಸವಾಲಿನ ಒಂದು ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಬದುಕು ಬಾಳೋದಲ್ಲ, ಅವರ ಇಷ್ಟಾರ್ಥ ಪ್ರಕಾರವಾಗಿ in their own terms, in their own way, in their own style, and showing entire world, if you are committed and if you are passionate for your motherland, how you can do things is shown by Israel. Probably that country is an inspiration for each one of us, though we might feel that we are more. But the fact lies, Israel country has been a role model for the entire world. We would like to acknowledge that. First we need to acknowledge that somebody has done good, they have achieved, that needs to be recognized and accept. First if we learn how to accept things, then we will know where we are or how we can do things better. ಈ ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಹಲವಾರು ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ನಿರ್ವಹಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು, ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು, ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಕೊರತೆ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ನೀರಿಗೆನೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ನಿಭಾಯಿಸಿ ನಿರ್ವಹಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಇಡೀ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿದ್ರೂ ಇಲ್ಲದಂಗೆ ನೀರಿಲ್ಲದ ಹಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ, ನೀರಿದ್ದು ನೀರಿಲ್ಲದ ಹಾಗೆ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅವ್ರು ನೀರಿಲ್ಲದೇ ನೀರು ಇರೋಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಮನಸ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾರ್ಗ ಅನ್ನೋವಂಥದ್ದು ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಲಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋವಂಥದ್ದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು. ಅವಲೋಕನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಉತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ನಿರ್ವಹಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋವಂಥದ್ದು, ತಿಳಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದಂಥ ವಿಚಾರ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಯಾರಿಗೋ ನಾವು ಬೆಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಮುಂದುವರಿಸಿ ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಡನ್ನು ಉತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಉತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸೋಣ, ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ. ಹಾಗೆ ವ್ಯವಸಾಯ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲೇನು ಬೆಳಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋವಂಥದ್ದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಏನು ಬೆಳಿಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗದೆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೀತಾರೆ. ಇಡೀ ವಿಶ್ವದಲ್ಲೇ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂಥ ಪರಿಸರ ಯಾರಿಗಾರು ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಇಡೀ ವಿಶ್ವದಲ್ಲೇ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂಥ ಪರಿಸರ ಏನಾರು ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಅಂತ ತಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಇಡೀ ವಿಶ್ವದಲ್ಲೇ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂಥ ವಾತಾವರಣ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯ. 365 ದಿನವೂ ಪರಿಸರ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ ಇರೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಅಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದೂ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂಥರ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿದೆ, ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗಿಂತ ಓವರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗತಿಗಳು ರಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆಯೋ ಆ ಉದ್ದಿಮೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಆ ವೃತ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ 60% ಜನ ಅವಲಂಬಿತರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸಣ್ಣದಲ್ಲ, 60%. ಸೊ ಈ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಸಾಲಲ್ಲ, ಬಹಳ ಉತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಸದೃಢರಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಸದೃಢತೆ ಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಗೌರವ ಸಲ್ಲುವಂಥ ರೀತಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ವ್ಯವಸಾಯ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ವಿಧಿ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಬಹಳ ಪವಿತ್ರವಾಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತವಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ವೃತ್ತಿಗೆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ತುಂಬಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಥವೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಗಳು ಇವತ್ತು ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿದೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮುಂದೆ ಸಾಗುವಂಥದ್ದು ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ದಿಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ, ಇಲ್ಲದ್ರೆ ಏನೇ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೂ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಸುಧಾರಣೆಗಳು, ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಸುಧಾರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ತಂದು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಹಣ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೂ ಏನೂ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಆವಿಷ್ಕಾರ ಅಂತನಂಥದ್ದು ಏನು ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಈ ಆವಿಷ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದ ಶೈಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಈಗಲೂ ಪ್ರತಿನಿತ್ಯ ಮೊದಲಿಂದನೂ ಇದೆ. ಯಾವ ವೇಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಯಾವ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತೋ ಆ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲದ ಕಾರಣ ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಲಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮುಂಚೂಣಿಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಬೇರೆ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಲಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ವಿ ಆರ್ ahead of other states in our country. That doesn't mean we are to compare with other states. We need to compare ourselves with the entire world, not any states. Because that's a way forward. It's a global market. We need to understand, we need to compete, the best who can only survive. Otherwise, we need to be a spectators. So probably your role model, where the things have been done, it will be an inspiration. We have been doing things, and our main economies for the state of Karnataka is product development, innovation, technology, science. This is one state largely depends on technology as a main revenue. And more than money, it has made a huge difference in all sectors. Probably application in all sectors, from education to healthcare, agri-tech, hospitality, or any possible transport, all possible sectors, governance to everything. It's going to make a huge difference. For that itself, we need to ensure the connectivity. If connectivity is there, every remote place can become a better place to live. The connectivity, all this now, let me not go into that aspect. So we need to understand how innovation can make a difference, particularly in some of the areas which we are mentioning: agriculture, water, healthcare, defense. And defense is most important thing. We have been covered from all the sides. Hostility. Everybody is trying to prove their strength. They want us to listen to them in their terms. They are not allowing us to live in our own terms. So, to protect ourselves, to protect our country, we need to have a very strong defense system, not to be hostile or being offensive. We are trying to be ourselves, to protect our own culture, our own self-esteem. For these good reasons, we need to ensure and promote the defense system. We can speak in the terms, already we have been speaking in these terms, already under our Prime Minister leadership. We have shown the entire world India is capable of facing any kind of challenges. But in this direction, we need to add a lot of strength by putting up whatever required things to be done. We have to do it. Probably Bengaluru is known as a defense capital also. This is a place where much of the things happen, as you know very well, with regard to all the sectors. Let it be in agriculture, presence of more than 50% agri-tech companies' presence is in Bengaluru. Let it be in water management, let it be in the terms of defense. For all this, the state of Bengaluru, Karnataka has been the place for healthcare. Probably today's book, the Kannada version, will be well received by the people of Karnataka. Even Nischintayage Irabo sir will take it in the right spirit and will buy this in a very big numbers. Will ensure that will reach out to all the people in the digital format. We can provide the digital format as well as the printed books. Both we are willing to take it up and ensure that all the people will read this book. ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋಂಥದ್ದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ತಮಗೆ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಈ ದಿನ ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್ ದೇಶ ಬರೀ 70 ಲಕ್ಷ ಜನಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಇರೋದು, ಬರೀ 70 ಲಕ್ಷ ಜನಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಇರೋದು. ಅವ್ರು ಬರೀ ಸೈಬರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, $150 ಬಿಲಿಯನ್ ಬರೀ ಸೈಬರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. $150 ಬಿಲಿಯನ್ ಬರೀ ಸೈಬರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ. So they have been doing extremely well in startups, particularly they have been doing extremely well, and they've extended all their cooperation. Always they are in the forefront to extend the cooperation for any good things to happen in our place. I appreciate their concern. They've been working very effectively, very closely. They share an extremely good relationship across the section of society, all sections of society, not only just with the government top line. In all the levels, they've been sharing a good relationship. I appreciate, sir. We'll continue our journey and we'll extend and collaborate in all the spheres. Let this be a beginning. Whatever has happened so far, it's just a beginning. We'll take it up to the next level. We'll extend all our cooperation. We need all of your cooperation. With these few words, I took much of time. Probably I should end here. And thank you once again for coming forward. And I should also thank, I am told that 300 copies has been given free, sir. Vishweshwar Bhatt. ತುಂಬ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. 300 ಕಾಪಿ ಫ್ರೀಯಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಪಟ್ಟೆ. ತುಂಬ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. I should thank you on behalf of my department, sir. Thank you, sir. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ನಮಗೆ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೇ ನೀವು ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ತೋರುವಂಥದ್ದಾಗಬೇಕು. ನನಗನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು ಒಂದು ಟ್ರಿಪ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇಸ್ರೇಲಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರಿಪ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಂಥದ್ದಾಗಬೇಕು. ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ದೆಮ್ ಟು ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್. ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು show them the good things happening there. Consulate. Okay. Ellargunu, I just took that liberty, just like that I spoke, and it's very important. The journalists, the editors of the news channels, and the people, they should visit, because then they'll ask us to also rise to that level. They need to demand from us that we need to perform, sir. We need to perform. We need to work in that direction. Probably that's a way forward. We appreciate. Challenges should come. We need to respond to the challenges and work, sir. Thank you. Namaskara. Sarina, sir? Yes. Thank you, sir. Namaskara. Yenarara nam department in response.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಸರ್. Thank you very much. So that brings us to the end of this wonderful event. I would like to thank all the dignitaries who have arrived here this evening to be part of the release of this wonderful book, Avishkarada Harikara. So many thanks to Dr. E.V. Ramana Reddy, Mr. Jonathan Zatka, Shri Prashant Prakash, Shri Vishweshwar Bhatt, and Dr. C.N. Ashwath Narayan. We will resume the program in about 15 minutes. The awards ceremony. Till such time, we'll take a short break. Thank you very much. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನೆರೆದಿರುವ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಿತ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳು, ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು, ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ವಿಜೇತರು, ಸಭಿಕರು, ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರಿಗೆ ಎಲಿವೇಟ್ ಉನ್ನತಿ 2020 ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ರದಾನ ಸಮಾರಂಭಕ್ಕೆ ಆದರದ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಕೋರುತ್ತೇನೆ. ವೆರಿ good evening and a very warm welcome to Elevate Unnati Awards 2020. So there is a certain context in which these awards are being presented to the innovators of Karnataka, the startup innovators of Karnataka. I like the religion that teaches liberty, equality and fraternity. Dr. Ambedkar's vision was to create an India free from exploitation and discrimination. The entire world, and so more so India, is moving towards an inclusive society, trying to break down all barriers that can divide humanity. So Elevate Unnati is a social inclusion program to promote startups from SC/ST community funded by Social Welfare Department. Elevate Unnati is an idea to proof of concept grant and aid seed funding program. So we are about to begin this program, and we have with us the dignitaries, Dr. C.N. Ashwath Narayan, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister and Minister for Higher Education, Electronics, IT, BT and SNT, Mr. Prashant Prakash, Chairman Vision Group on Startups and Partner Axel, Dr. N. Nagambika Devi, who is yet to arrive. She'll join us in a couple of minutes. Dr. Ravi Kumar Surpur, IAS, Commissioner, Department of Social Welfare, Government of Karnataka. Dr. E.V. Ramana Reddy, Additional Chief Secretary to Chief Minister and Department of Electronics, IT, BT and SNT. And Srimati Meena Nagaraj, Director, Department of Electronics, IT and BT and Managing Director, KITS. At the outset, I request Srimati Champa, GM, Department of Electronics, IT and BT, Government of Karnataka, to kindly officially welcome the dignitaries and the audience. Thank you, ma'am.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಪ್ರಥಮವಾಗಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಎಲಿವೇಟ್ ಉನ್ನತಿ ಯೋಜನೆಯ ಎಲ್ಲ 19 ವಿಜೇತರಿಗೆ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಈ ಬಾರಿ ಎಲಿವೇಟ್ ಉನ್ನತಿ ಯೋಜನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಟ್ಟು 96 ಅರ್ಜಿಗಳು ಬಂದಿದ್ದು, ಅವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ 61 ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ಗಳು ಅಂತಿಮ ಸುತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಂತಗಳ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು Idea2PoC ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಮೌಲ್ಯಮಾಪನ ಮಾಡಿಸಲಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಅಂತಿಮ ಸುತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ 60%ಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಅಂಕಗಳನ್ನು ಪಡೆದ 19 ವಿಜೇತರನ್ನು ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಈ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮೌಲ್ಯಮಾಪನವನ್ನು ನ್ಯಾಸ್ಕಾಮ್, ಏಬಲ್, ISA, ಅಬೈನಂತಹ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ಗಳಿಂದ ನೇಮಕ ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದ್ದ ಪರಿಣಿತರಿಂದ ಡೊಮೇನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ಸಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ಗಳು ಗಳಿಸಿದ ಅಂಕಗಳ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ Idea2PoC ಸೀಡ್ ಫಂಡನ್ನು ನಿಗದಿಪಡಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. Idea2PoC ಯೋಜನೆಯು ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ರೂಪಿಸಲಾಗಿರುವ ಯೋಜನೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದು, ಈ ಯೋಜನೆ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಸೀಡ್ ಫಂಡನ್ನು ನೀಡಿ ಅವರ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಪಡಿಸಲು ವೇಗವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡಲು ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಲಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಆವಿಷ್ಕಾರ ಇರುವ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ 50 ಲಕ್ಷ ರೂಪಾಯಿಗಳವರೆಗೆ ಅನುದಾನ ನೀಡಲಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಎಲಿವೇಟ್ ಉನ್ನತಿಯ ಮೂಲಕ ನಾವು ರಾಜ್ಯಾದ್ಯಂತ SC/ST ಸಮುದಾಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಉದ್ಯಮಶೀಲತೆಯ ಉತ್ಸಾಹವನ್ನು ತುಂಬಲು ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈ ಯೋಜನೆಗೆ ಸಮಾಜ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಇಲಾಖೆಯಿಂದ ಅನುದಾನ ನೀಡಲಾಗಿದೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಈ ಬಾರಿ ಇದು 2ನೇ ಆವೃತ್ತಿಯಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಇದೊಂದು ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟ ಹಾಗೂ ವಿನೂತನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವಾಗಿದ್ದು, SC/ST ಸಮುದಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಉದ್ಯಮಶೀಲರನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಲು, ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾಗಿ ಸಶಕ್ತರನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಲು, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಮಾನವಾದ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕಲ್ಪಿಸಲು ಹಾಗೂ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಗಳನ್ನು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಸಲು ರೂಪಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. SC/ST ಸಮುದಾಯದವರನ್ನು ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಹಿನಿಗೆ ತರಲು ಇದು ಒಂದು ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಯೋಜನೆಯಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರವು ಅನುದಾನವನ್ನು ನೀಡುವುದಲ್ಲದೆ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಇತರ ಇಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಸ್ಗಳ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸಂಪರ್ಕ ಕಲ್ಪಿಸಿಕೊಡುತ್ತೇವೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಾಧನೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಪ್ರಚಾರ ನೀಡಿ ಇದರಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಫಂಡ್ ಸಿಗುವಂತೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲದರ ಸದುಪಯೋಗ ಪಡೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕ ಇಚ್ಛಾಶಕ್ತಿ ತೋರಿ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಫಲರಾಗಬೇಕೆನ್ನುವುದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಹಾಗೂ ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ಉದ್ದೇಶವಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಲು ಅನುದಾನ ನೀಡಿರುವ ಸಮಾಜ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಇಲಾಖೆಗೆ ಇಲಾಖಾ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ರದಾನ ಸಮಾರಂಭಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಉಪಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಯವರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಕೋರುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ITBT ಹಾಗೂ SNT ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ಅಪರ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಮಣ ರೆಡ್ಡಿ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಕೋರುತ್ತೇನೆ. ವಿಷನ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ಸ್ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಸಮಾಜ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ಆಯುಕ್ತರಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ರವಿ ಸುರ್ಪುರ್ ಸರ್ ರವರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಕೋರುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ITBT ಹಾಗೂ MD ಕಿಟ್ಸ್ ರವರಾದ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಮೀನಾ ನಾಗರಾಜ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ರವರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆರೆದಿರುವ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ಸ್ಗಳಿಗೆ, ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಕಿಟ್ ಸಹೋದ್ಯೋಗಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಮಿತ್ರರಿಗೆ ಆತ್ಮೀಯವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಈ ಯೋಜನೆ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ನೀಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸಿದ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಚಂಪಾ GM ಕಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಮೇಡಮ್. Now I would like to request Dr. E.V. Ramana Reddy, Additional Chief Secretary to Chief Minister and Department of Electronics, IT, BT and SNT to kindly share his thoughts to the audience.
Dr. Ashwath Narayan sir, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister for Higher Education, Electronics, IT, BT, SNT and Skill Development. Shri Prashant Prakash, Chairman Vision Group on Startups. Dr. Ravi Kumar Surpur, Mrs. Meena Nagaraj, Elevate Unnati, all winners, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. This week was very good for Karnataka because of two things. One is the Niti Aayog Innovation Index has once again said that Karnataka are the leaders in innovation, and we were ranked #1 in Innovation Index for the second time in a row. Secondly, none other than the CEO of Microsoft, which is a very large IT company, well-known IT company, has said in World Economic Forum in Davos this week that yes, his statement is yes, Bangalore is the most dynamic tech city in the world. He said in the world. And third thing which happened in the last 1 week is that a study from London has said that Bangalore has grown the rapidly growing tech ecosystem in the world. Next was London and other cities. So all these three in the last maybe 1 week or 10 days are real encouragement to the people of Karnataka and the Department of ITBT and SNT. As far as the Elevate program is concerned, Elevate is nothing but to elevate from the idea to proof of concept and to the commercialization. As you all know, the department has started this program 3-4 years back. Under this, we give a grant in aid of, we don't take equity, we give a grant in aid of up to 50 lakhs. And we have a very good startup cell which provides a platform that includes idea validation, funding, mentoring, pilots with governments, subsidized incubation space, etc. In fact, as you know, we were the first in the country under the leadership of the Honorable DCM to have announced vision group on startups. The chairman of the vision group is here. Our government till now has conducted 11 calls under Elevate program and supported 489 startups till now with a grant of 116.73 crores. In this also, not that everything is from Bangalore, everyone is from Bangalore. 24% of these 489 companies, 24% are from other than Bangalore, and 30% are women winners. So all these startups, out of these, many have got lot of funding from outside, from venture capitalists, angel investments. In fact, one company called Bounce has got, I think, some 500 million funding, and it is now valued at 3,000 or 4,000 crore company, for which first grant of Elevate was given by the government of Karnataka. Similarly, during the COVID, we have launched many products by the startups in our BBC, Bangalore Bio-Innovation Center, and other centers of government of Karnataka. So after that, after the success of Elevate, Social Welfare Department has started the Unnati scheme, and later they were kind enough to give it to us. Funding is by Social Welfare Department, but they gave it to us so that already we are running an Elevate program. This can also be run along with parallelly along with that program. So last year we started implementing under our department. Last year we had 99 applications, out of which we selected 20 winners. Out of these also, again, if you see, out of 23 were women, 13 were from outside Bangalore. Similarly, this year again we gave a call. Social Welfare Department has given us 2.85 crores, 2.14 under SCP and 71 lakhs under TSP. The second edition we called in on 1st October. We received 96 applications, but unfortunately we had to do everything, evaluation, everything on a virtual platform because we couldn't call them physically. And our industry, the main jury is from outside. We don't decide or we don't say who is selected, who will get the funding. The entire jury, we have to appreciate and thank the industry associations for being the jury. And this time we have also had one expert on local language, so that if somebody comes from outside Bangalore, if they don't know Kannada, English, then they should be helped. So this year, Unnati, we have selected 19 winners, 14 from SC category and 5 from ST category. And out of these, again, 3 startups are from other cities other than Bangalore. 3 are women entrepreneurs and 7 are outside Bangalore. And one good thing is that I want to congratulate that startup. The highest scorer in Elevate Unnati is from Kalyan Karnataka region, HKRDB region. So initially they used to tell us, the department, that not many people are coming from Gulbarga region, you are not encouraging them. But this year, the topper is from Kalyan Karnataka region. I congratulate that team. The first installment of 142 out of 285 lakhs will be released today. And after that, even whatever they require any visibility, any help from any of the government department, any help for mentorship, any help for incubation. So all those things will be looked after by the startup cell. So I once again congratulate the today's 19 winners and hope they will utilize the fund given by the government in a proper way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. That was Dr. E.V. Ramana Reddy, Additional Chief Secretary to Chief Minister, Government of Karnataka. I would now like to request Dr. N. Nagambika Devi, Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Social Welfare, Government of Karnataka, to kindly address the audience.
Thank you. there's a saying, it's better to have tried and failed than not have tried at all. Basically, many of the particularly first-time entrepreneurs are the people who have concepts, ideas, and who want to implement things, and who are searching for some kind of a funding, who have tried so many other ways and still not been able to successful, and still they have lot of risks. And we know that earlier, whenever we had an idea, people would go and knock the doors of the banks, and they had to go from bank to the bank, or they had to invest their own parents' money, which they would have never had the sufficient amount. Maybe they had small amounts, and that too particularly youngsters. When they wanted to do something big, basically the major problem was finance, and also not only finance, also they required some kind of a guidance, hand-holding, and also some support, and that too particularly support of government, which is itself is a huge standing for them. So in that way, I think whatever, when we were talking about, we are using the dividends of our democracy. This was one of the major applications which we have done. We have used our youth and then told them that we are with you. If you want to do anything, that too particularly in a city like Bangalore, where we call it the Silicon Valley of the world, and not only that, the fastest growing economy, and the most sought after city. Here, the Karnataka, the whole of Karnataka state youth, they converge and they get the first benefit. And I'm very happy and to announce that Social Welfare Department, Government of Karnataka, took the leaf from ITBT, Elevate. We call it Unnati. And this Unnati, in Kannada, you know, is a progress. And this, under this Unnati, large number of people have come forward. We are funding up to 50 lakhs. And this is a huge amount for any startup. And I'm extremely happy that ITBT has given us complete support, and we have handed over our child to them. And in fact, we have given the whole thing handing over to them, and they have brought up in such a beautiful way. Now, all these people, particularly the awardees, like the people who have got this award, they know that what a great achievement they have done in life with the support of ITBT department, Government of Karnataka. I'm grateful and thankful to them. And one more thing I would like to assure, even if you want, there is no limitation of funds. We will divert funds from everywhere and we'll give it to you. Because this is a kind of a program which is worthy, and also it will directly go to the beneficiaries. And I think that's one thing which I would like to tell all the youngsters, please make use of it. Come up, dream, and all your dreams can be realized. I also would like to say that this is one area, and the other areas also, we have taken up a program called Samruddhi in Social Welfare Department itself. We fund up to 10 lakh rupees. We took the Unnati, Samruddhi, and Airavata. Like Unnati, you started these startups in a big scale, up to 50 lakhs. Samruddhi, up to 10 lakhs. We have all the branded franchises with us. Whichever youngster want to do and implement, they are free to do it. And we handhold them, and then we also take them further, and we evaluate them, support them, and we tell them, don't be afraid of failing. We are there with you. We'll help you, and we will see that you will get over it. And the third one is Airavata. You know that particularly Ola, Uber, and all that kind of a thing. They can have their own vehicles and run them. That Airavata is that scheme. All these three schemes have really brought out entrepreneurship and also like basically economic and financial independence to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. I'm very proud and privileged that today all these people who have worked for this and also like who have really, gone up to this stage of taking an award, and that too particularly Kalyan Karnataka, where large number of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes are there. They have come forward and they are getting the awards is something very heartening. I congratulate all of them, and I also congratulate all the people who participated in this, because when all of us joined together, then only inclusive growth can happen. And when we, work together, everything works. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Those were very encouraging and motivating words from Dr. Nagambika Devi for all the youngsters of the state who are trying to dream big. So a big round of applause once again to her. With that, I now request Shri Prashant Prakash, Chairman Vision Group on Startups and Partner Axel, to kindly share a few words.
Thank you. Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Dr. Ashwath Narayan, ACS Dr. Ramana Reddy, Dr. Ravi Surpur, Dr. Nagamika Devi, and Mrs. Meena Nagaraj. All doctors on the dais. Yeah. So, anyway, I'd like to start out by congratulating all the Unnati winners. As a venture capitalist and as a person who knows how difficult it is to raise funds, I think Karnataka has innovated for you people. The fact that Karnataka has created this Elevate program and the Unnati program means that you've now been given a platform. And it's a unique platform because this platform does not take any collateral, it does not take any equity. It's a free grant. And I think like Dr. Ramana Reddy said, this is unique, and we did some research as part of a report that we brought out. There is no state in the world that has funded as many Elevate startups through the Elevate program as Karnataka. So so it's not only the first in the country or the largest in the country, but we definitely lead the world when it comes to helping startups get started. Now, this brings a lot of responsibility to you folks, right? So you need to take full advantage of this. You need to leverage the Innovation Hub. The Innovation Hub helps you work with other accelerators. So now you're in the incubation phase where you take your idea and build a POC. So you're in the incubation phase. So once you go from incubation to acceleration, we have a program. As part of the Innovation Hub, we have a mentoring program. Please take advantage of that. So engage fully with the ecosystem. It's you, like Dr. Nagamika said, you've now been exposed to the world. Being exposed to Bangalore is like being exposed to the world. Take full advantage of that. Build your networks. Find connects, and through those connects, try to start building the bridges. This is just the first step. So you need to start preparing for the next stages of your journey. But all this is the good part. Now, startups are known to fail, right? So there's of the 100 startups that you know that you and your friends have started, I think less than 10% of them have been successful today in getting some early grant. How many of you will actually go forward and succeed? And how do you increase the chances of success? So there are just 2-3 things I would like to mention. One, make a true assessment of the market. Sometimes being too close to the problem also makes us myopic. We think our problem is everybody else's problem. So really talk to more people and put yourself in the shoes of the customer and really gauge if the problem that you have started to build is just for yourself, or is it really a problem that will solve something for hundreds and hopefully even as you scale millions of people. The second big challenge is frugal innovation. While India is, while Karnataka and India encourages entrepreneurship, we need to understand that there is limited funds available here, especially in the early stages, till you succeed. So you need to not run out of cash before you're able to get what I call as product market fit. If you're not able to get product market fit, the next investor is not going to believe in your company. So make sure that you pace your growth. Don't spend all your money in the first 6 months or first 1 year. See what time it is taking for you to actually iterate and build the right solution and prepare yourself for the next round of funding. Finally, building the right team. Your friends are not necessarily your best co-founders. Please keep them as friends. Look at who will be your best partner in your business. What is it that he or she can complement you with? So build a well-rounded team. So 2 things. 1, your product needs to have traction before you can raise the next round. Second, you need to have a complete team. So make sure that you use this opportunity, the funds that you have got over the next 12 months to build these 2. And finally, there are 2 things that I used all my life, and I encourage all entrepreneurs to keep these 2 as their guiding principles. 1, you have to learn to tell your story. You cannot be a great entrepreneur without being able to tell your story. So learn that, practice that. In addition to building a great product, in addition to having a great team, if you can't tell your story, you'll not go too far when it comes to the next round. And the second big thing, learnability and grit. Before you actually learn something, you know that somebody has actually figured out something else. So understand that just because you think you have learned something doesn't mean that you've actually got to the pinnacle of where you need to be. So that constant learning and that culture that you build for yourself and your team is really important. And finally, grit. Like we've all seen during COVID, who are the startups that have survived? Startups that had the ability to reinvent themselves, rebuild their models, and ensure that they survive through this period and come out even stronger. So ensure that you constantly, it's not about having any self-doubt. You need to have all the confidence, but you need to ensure that you are constantly preparing yourself and the company for situations that you can't foresee. So with this, I will say that, please take the maximum advantage of the opportunity that you've got, and all the best. Thank you.
A big round of applause to to Shri Prashant Prakash, Chairman Vision Group on Startups and Partner Axel. We will now watch a small video on the Karnataka startup ecosystem.
Ideas need entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs need startups. And startups need a robust ecosystem to emerge as an unicorn. This ecosystem is what makes Karnataka the innovation and technology hub of India. Government of Karnataka supports startups right from offering physical space to setting up of incubation in partnership with NASSCOM, IAMAI bodies with state-of-the-art facilities, amenities and support services. Mentorship by industry leaders and domain experts to advanced tools for testing, instrumentation, industry connects, investor connects and global connects. Filing patents and protecting ideas to providing mentoring support and brand development assistance. The government of Karnataka has come in to assist budding companies through every hurdle and provide all kinds of resources across all its physical infrastructure. With dedicated facilities and state-of-the-art infrastructure all under one roof, exclusively for IT and BT startups. But only physical space is not enough to house 8,000 startups. Karnataka is also the first state in India to come up with sector-specific policies and adapt a framework for innovation engagements at a global level with countries from around the world to assist solve a collective need for nations world over. A space where this all comes together is the Bengaluru Tech Summit, a conference that brings together innovators, startups, investors, government, policy makers, academia to foster collaborations, co-creation, co-innovation and co-invention. Some of the largest companies in the world have set up their own incubation centers in the city of Bengaluru. Not only is Bengaluru one of the easiest places to find skilled team members for a startup, it is deemed as the startup capital of India with more new startups incubated here than anywhere else in the country. To give a thrust to the emerging sectors and sunshine technologies, the state government, through a joint initiative with corporates and MIT, has established multiple centers of excellence to boost the accelerator support to the entire startup ecosystem. In addition to the COEs, the government of Karnataka is supporting establishment of 5 technology business incubators in institutions of higher learning with well-developed R&D facilities to foster a strong link between R&D and commercialization of technologies developed. And the city is home to 14 of India's 33 unicorns and 20 soonicorns, which is highest in the country. Bengaluru leads in the startup race when it comes to the number of funding deals, with Bengaluru-based companies having raised $2,436 million in the first half of 2020. The drive to grow and innovate is not restricted to Bengaluru alone. It goes beyond Bengaluru. To meet this growing entrepreneurial spirit in the state and to nurture innovation at district level, the government of Karnataka has set up New Age Innovation Networks, NAIN, in the emerging clusters. NAIN envisages and encourages student entrepreneurship at a grassroots level, while also setting up R&D labs and common instrumentation facilities in cities across the state, including Mysuru, Hubballi, Dharwad, Belagavi and Bagalkote. Additionally, the state has set up 5 common prototyping or instrumentation facilities in Jalhalli, Mysuru, Mangaluru, Shivamogga and Belagavi, fueling the startup ecosystem through innovation hubs in Tier 2 cities, thus empowering hardware startups across the state. The government of Karnataka is the only state supporting early stage startups by Idea2PoC or Elevate Grant in Aid to identify innovative startups across the state and elevate them to the next level. Elevate Unnati is an Idea2PoC Grant in Aid for startups promoted exclusively by SC/ST entrepreneurs of the state. For social innovation, Karnataka uses a model of grand challenges to focus attention and effort on specific problems. The government has tied up with Catalyst for Women Entrepreneurship for promoting entrepreneurship among women. Kitwin Fund focused on encouraging entrepreneurship in the state, promising startups in need more than capital or financial backing to succeed. The government also incentivizes startups through reimbursement of GST, marketing incentives, patent filing costs, and provides booster kit in form of web credits. Between the schemes, policies, partnerships and alliances, Karnataka is geared to grow faster than ever. The state is also ready to establish an AI and robotics technology park and creating a digital economy mission to leverage the 500+ R&D centers to retain Karnataka's position as a leader in innovation-led economic growth. The state also launches a first-of-its-kind sector-agnostic regulatory sandbox for promoting upcoming technologies. The government of Karnataka is also planning a new and renewed startup policy in 2021 that will establish Karnataka as a power player in India's growth as a global innovation leader. After all, startups without an ecosystem are just entrepreneurs with ideas. And our startups are fully backed by the government ecosystem that fuel the innovative spirits of the entrepreneurs and risk appetite angel investors and VCs.
So we've now reached the most awaited and important part of this evening. So the Elevate Unnati 2020 awards will now be distributed. I request the dignitaries kindly to present these awards to the winners of this event. I request Dr. Ashwath Narayan, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Dr. E.V. Ramana Reddy, Additional Chief Secretary, and Shri Prashant Prakash, Chairman of Vision Group, to kindly give away the awards. So all the recipients of the awards, we request you to stay back until the awards are distributed to all of them. We will have a group photo shoot at the end. So I request all of you all to kindly stay back. So as I announce the names of the companies, I request concerned representatives to kindly come up and accept your rewards. So to begin with, Agaricus Solutions. Agaricus Solutions, Mr. Deepak Dilli. That's Deepak Dilli from Agaricus Solutions. Once again, I request all of you to kindly stay back till the conclusion of this program. Altius Aerospace Private Limited. Altius Aerospace Private Limited. Agaricus Solutions was awarded a cash prize of 30 lakh rupees. Now Altius Aerospace Private Limited. Ghanashyam Devanand, 17 lakhs was awarded. Ananta Energy Systems, Lavanya and Harsha. Ms. Lavanya and Harsha are the recipients of this award. That's Ananta Energy Systems. A cash check, a check of 10 lakh rupees. Carbon Hubs Private Limited. Shalom Kingston from Carbon Hubs Private Limited. And K. Suresh. Shalom Kingston and K. Suresh. A check of 20 lakh rupees. Q-Film Tech Private Limited. Q-Film Tech Private Limited. We have Akshay Shinde from Q-Film Tech Private Limited. A check of 16 lakh rupees. Q-Film Tech Private Limited. Akshay Shinde. Next is Din Harmania.
Let's go.
Din Harmania. Mr. Venkatesh Murthy and Mr. Darshan from Din Harmania. Din Harmania is being awarded 10 lakhs. Do put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. LPB Chetan S and Srinivas Reddy M. LPB Chetan S and Srinivas Reddy are being awarded 16 lakhs. Next up is Helix Technocrafts. Helix Technocrafts, Dr. Pankaj Jadhav and Dr. Praveen. That's Helix Technocrafts, Dr. Pankaj Jadhav and Dr. Praveen, recipient of 10 lakhs. Next up is Hexapent Engineering Services Private Limited. Hexapent Engineering Services Private Limited. Mr. Rangaswamy and Harish Kumar are being awarded 17 lakhs. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to all these amazing youngsters. Image Frame Productions. Image Frames Productions. Mr. Sumant from Image Frames Productions. IndieBen Specialty Coffee Private Limited. IndieBen Specialty Coffee Private Limited. Chamaraj and Manoj, Mr. Chamaraj and Manoj, recipients of 10 lakhs. Next up is MVS Techno Solutions. Vamshi Krishna and Sriram from MVS Techno Solutions are being awarded 10 lakhs. Nun Celine. The next startup is Nun Celine. Shweta Shri and Vidya Shri. Startup Nun Celine. This is an all-women's organization. A big feather in your cap, ladies. Shweta Shri and Vidya Shri, recipients of 10 lakhs. Proto Axle Solutions. Proto Axle Solutions, Vikas and Harsha Hegde. Proto Axle Solutions. Spot and View Tech Solutions Private Limited. Spot and View Tech Solutions Private Limited. Krishna and Jata Vedas. Spot and View Tech Solutions received 10 lakhs. Sri Vinayaka Enterprises. Sri Vinayaka Enterprises. Kiran Siddharaju and Siddharaju Manchaya. Virubi Technologies. Virubi Technologies. Kiran Siddharaju and Siddharaju Manchaya, recipients of 16 lakh rupees. Next up is Visualize Plans. Madhu TK and Hari Krishna. Are being awarded 17 lakhs. And finally, Ziva. A big congratulations to all the startup innovators who have won today and received these amazing awards. I request all of you all to next come up on stage for a group photograph with the dignitaries. I request all of you to kindly come up for a group photograph. Once again, congratulations to each and every one of you and the best for all your future endeavors. So kindly take your seats now. Please stay back. Make sure all of you stay back. You still have to collect your MOA, which will be distributed at the end of the program. Can we have the photographs later, please? Can we have the photographs later? Ladies, sir will be there. All right, thank you. We can keep the photographs to the end. All right, thank you. Once again, a small announcement. I request each of you to kindly stay back because you also have to collect your memorandum of agreement at the end of the program. I would now request Dr. C.N. Ashwath Narayan, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister and Minister for Higher Education, Electronics, IT, BT and SNT to kindly say a few words to our audience. I request all of you to kindly be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please settle down quickly. Thank you.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಎಲಿವೇಟ್ ಉನ್ನತಿ 2020 ಏನೊಂದು ವಿಜೇತರ ಒಂದು ಆಯ್ಕೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ವಿಜೇತರಿಗೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಮತ್ತು ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಮನಿನ ಇವತ್ತು ಪ್ರದಾನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬೆಂತಟ್ಟುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಇವತ್ತು ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ITBT ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಇಲಾಖೆ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ನಡೆದು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಸಹಕಾರವನ್ನು ಸಮಾಜ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಇಲಾಖೆಯಿಂದ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು SCP ಮತ್ತು TSP ಒಂದು ಯೋಜನೆ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಕನಸು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಮಾನತೆ ಸಿಗಬೇಕು, ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಗಬೇಕು, ಯಾರು ಅವಕಾಶ ವಂಚಿತರಾಗಿರಬಾರ್ದು, ಆ ಸದೃಢತೆಯನ್ನು ಅವಕಾಶ ಸದೃಢತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ಕನಸನ್ನು ನನಸು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ತಾರತಮ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅವರ ಕಲ್ಪನೆಯ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಸುಧಾರಣೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚೆಚ್ಚು ಸುಧಾರಣೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕಾಣಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವರೂಪವಾಗಿದೆ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ವಿಜೇತರಿಗೆ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ಇಲಾಖೆ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ನಾಡಿನ ಸಮಸ್ತ ಜನತೆಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನೊಂದಿಗೆ ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಚೀಫ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯವನ್ನು ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಲಾಖೆಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಮಣ್ ರೆಡ್ಡಿ ಅವರೇ, ಹಾಗೂ ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಿಂದ ತೆರಳಿದಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ವೆಲ್ಫೇರಿನ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಾಗಲಂಬಿಕೆ ದೇವಿಯವರು ಮತ್ತು ವಿಷನ್ ಗ್ರೂಪಿನ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂಥ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಅವರು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಿ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ, ಹಲ್ಲು ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರೇಟರ್ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಾಗಿತ್ತು GKVKಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ತೆರಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಯುವಕರು ಭಾಳ ಉರುಪಿನಿಂದ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋವಂಥವ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರವಿ ಸುರ್ಪುರ್ ಅವರು, ಕಮಿಷನರ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ವೆಲ್ಫೇರ್, ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ಭಾಳ ಉತ್ಸಾಹದಿಂದ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಮೀನಾ ನಾಗರಾಜ್ ಅವರು, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಕಿಟ್ಸ್, ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜನರಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಇತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಲಾಖೆ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿ, ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇಷ್ಟು ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ನಡೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರಣಕರ್ತರು ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನಿಂಗ್ ಕಮಿಟಿಯವರು. ಇವತ್ತೇನು ನ್ಯಾಸ್ಕಾಮ್, ಏಬಲ್, ಐಸಾ ಈ ಥರ ಹಲವಾರು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳಿಂದ ಬಂದವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಬಿಡುವಿಲ್ಲದ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲೂ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಏನು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನಿಂಗ್, ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಕನಿಷ್ಠ 2 ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ, 100 ಅರ್ಜಿಗಳು. ಈ ಅರ್ಜಿಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಷ್ಟು ಹುಡುಗಾಟಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಆದಂಥ ಮೌಲ್ಯಮಾಪನ ಉತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ದೇ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಅವ್ರ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ, ಇವತ್ತು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಒಬ್ಬ ಯುವಕ ಅಥವಾ ಯುವತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತವಾಗಿದೆಯಾ ಎವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡೋದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದ್ದು. ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಆ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ಸನ್ನೇ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಭಾಳ ಉತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಏನೊಂದು ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂಥ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇದೆ. ಇವತ್ತೆಲ್ಲವೂ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳು ಇವತ್ತು ಇಡೀ ಜಗತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳನ್ನು ಏನು ಕಾಣ್ತಿದೆಯೋ, ಸುಧಾರಣೆ ಮತ್ತು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ, ಇವತ್ತು ಎಮರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜೀಸ್, ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಸೆನೇರಿಯೋ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಈ ಐಡಿಯಾಯಿಂದನೇ ಆಗ್ತಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಉತ್ತಮ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮತ್ತು ಕಲ್ಪನೆ, ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕಲ್ಪನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ನಮ್ಮ ಯುವಕರು ಯುವತಿಯರು ಇವತ್ತು ಒಳ್ಳೊಳ್ಳೆ ಸಮಾಜದ ಎದುರಿಸ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಬೇಕು, ಒಂದು ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನು ಉತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ನಿರ್ವಹಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಪ್ರಗತಿ ಕಾಣಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಭಾಳ ಹುಮ್ಮಸ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ಬಯಕೆ, ಇಚ್ಛೆಯಿಂದ ಈ ಒಂದು ಲೋಕಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇವರ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಮೆಚ್ಚುಗೆಯನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಯಶಸ್ವಿ, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಐಡಿಯಾ, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋಂಥದ್ದು ಈ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನಿಂಗ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುವಂಥದ್ದಿದೆ. ಈ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನಿಂಗ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತೇನು 96 ಅರ್ಜಿ ಬಂದಿರೋದು, 96 ಅರ್ಜಿಯಲ್ಲಿ 19 ಅರ್ಜಿಯನ್ನು ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಸತತವಾಗಿ ಸಮಯ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳೋವಂಥದ್ದಿದೆ. ಇನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಅವ್ರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಸಹಕಾರ ಕೊಡ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ನಿಸ್ವಾರ್ಥವಾಗಿ, ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಾರ್ಥವಾಗಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಇರ್ತದೆ, ನಿಸ್ವಾರ್ಥವಾಗಿ ಸಮಾಜದ ಏಳಿಗೆಗಾಗಿ ಕಾಳಜಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲಗಳು ನಾವು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮೆಚ್ಚುಗೆಯನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸೋ ಸಾಲಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಒತ್ತಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು ಒಂದು ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ, ಇವತ್ತು ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆಯವರು ಇದನ್ನು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರು. ಈ ಎಲಿವೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು, ಉನ್ನತಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆಯವರು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಆದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯನ್ನು ಕಾಣಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಕಾಣಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಶಸ್ವಿ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವೇನಾಯಿತು ಅಂದರೆ, ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥ ಈ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಸಹಕಾರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ ಇಂಥ ಗಣ್ಯಮಾನ್ಯರು, ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮೆಚ್ಚುಗೆಯನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸೋ ಸಾಲಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ನಿಸ್ವಾರ್ಥವಾಗಿ ಇತರರ ಏಳಿಗೆಯನ್ನು ಕಾಣಬೇಕು, ಪ್ರಗತಿಯನ್ನು ಕಾಣಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಬಂದು ಸಹಕಾರವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಂಥ ಮಹನೀಯರ ಒಂದು ಸಹಕಾರ ಸದಾಕಾಲ ಇದ್ದು ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಜ, ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರ ಕನಸು ನನಸು ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಥವರ ಸಹಕಾರ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಥರ ಈ ಮಾರ್ಗಸೂಚಿಗಳು ಇದು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ತಯಾರಾಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಈ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಅನ್ನೋಂಥದ್ದು ಈ ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ತರುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಅಥವಾ ವೆಂಚರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ ವೆಂಚರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಪಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯೋಗ್ಯವಾಗೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ತಲುಪಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಅದೇದಾದಂಥ ಚರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ನ ಅರ್ಥೈಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನಾವೇನು ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳು, ಉದ್ಯಮಿಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿರೋವಂಥದ್ದು ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ. ಆದರೆ ಮಾಡೋದು, ನೀವು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತವಾಗಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮತ್ತು ಯೋಗ್ಯತೆ, ಅರ್ಹತೆ, ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ನೋಡೋವಂಥದ್ದಾಗಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು, ಅವ್ರನ್ನೇ ಕಲೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟು ಆಯ್ಕೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಯೋಗ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆನೇ, ನಾನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆನೇ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಅವರು 5 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಗಳು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. 5 ಪಾಯಿಂಟೂ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತವಾಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ನನ್ನ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆನೇ ಇತರರ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಪ್ಪುವಂಥ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಸಿಗುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ರೈಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮತ್ತು ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿರೋಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ಇತರರಿಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಉತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ತಿಳಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಏನು ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಗೆ ಫಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ ಭಾಳ ಉತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದಾಗಬೇಕು. ನಿಮಗೆ ಮೆಂಟರ್ಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ದೊರಕಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮನ್ನು ತಂದಿರೋವಂಥದ್ದಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಇಡೀ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡೀ ವಿಶ್ವದಲ್ಲೇ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಚೀಫ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನಡೆಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಸಿಲಿಕಾನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಯಿಂದ ಕ್ಯಾಲಿಫೋರ್ನಿಯಿಂದ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತು ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರ ಮೆಚ್ಚುಗೆನ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅವರೇನು ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದವರು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನವರು ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅರೆ ಅವರು ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಡಿನ ನಮ್ಮ ನಗರದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ಸತ್ಯ. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಡೈನಮಿಕ್ ಟೆಕ್ ಸಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನಾರು ಹೇಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಕ್ಯಾಲಿಫೋರ್ನಿಯಾಕ್ಕಿಂತನೂ ನಮ್ಮ ನಗರ ಇವತ್ತು ವೈಬ್ರೆಂಟಾಗಿ ಡೈನಮಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಟೆಕ್ ಸಿಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೀತಿರೋವಂಥದ್ದು ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅದೃಷ್ಟ. ಇದನ್ನು ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ರೀತಿ ಶಕ್ತಿ ತುಂಬಿಕೊಂಡು ನಮಗೆ ನಾವು ಶಕ್ತಿ ತುಂಬಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಸಹಕಾರ ಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಇಡೀ ಸಮಾಜದ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ, ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಯುವಕರು ಯುವತಿಯರು ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಂಬಲ ಕೊಡೋಣ. ಮತ್ತೇನು ಒಂದು UK ಯುನೈಟೆಡ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ರ್ಯಾಪಿಡ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟೆಕ್ ಸಿಟಿ ಅಂತಲೂ ಹೇಳಿ ತಿಳಿಸಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಲಂಡನ್ನಿಂದ. ಅದು ಟಾಪ್ 5ನಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಇನೋವೇಷನ್ ಸಿಟಿ ಲಂಡನ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರ ಒಂದು ಹೇಳಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಯಾರು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರು ಶಕ್ತಿನ ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಅದೇ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರನ್ನ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧಾಳನ್ನು ಮೆಚ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಒಪ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಸುಲಭ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇಡೀ ನಾಡು ಇದು ಅಭಿಮಾನ ಪಡೋವಂಥದ್ದು. ಈ ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಗಳು ಅದರ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿದೆ. ಈ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಗಳನ್ನು ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಸರ್ವ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೂ ಪ್ರತಿಭೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಯುವಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತೇನು 57 ಇನ್ಕ್ಯುಬೇಷನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ನ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಉದ್ದಾಗಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಥಾಪನೆ ಮಾಡಿರೋವಂಥದ್ದಿದೆ. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. TBI, ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸಲೆನ್ಸ್, ನೀನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಮನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರುಮೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಹಲವಾರು ಇನ್ಕ್ಯುಬೇಷನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಉದ್ದಾಗಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿರೋವಂಥದ್ದಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಸುಧಾರಣೆಗಳು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ R&Dಗೆ ಎನ್ಕರೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ತಂದಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು, ESDM ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಎನ್ಕರೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತಂದಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಹೊಸ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ತಂದಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಬಿಯಾಂಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಹೊಸ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನು ಪರಿಣಾಮಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತೇನು $52 ಬಿಲಿಯನ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಇರುವಂಥ ವಹಿವಾಟು $52 ಬಿಲಿಯನ್, ಅದನ್ನು $300 ಬಿಲಿಯನ್ ತಲುಪಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಇಡೀ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಉದ್ದಾಗಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲೂ ಈ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ನಡಿಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ಪಾಲಿಸಿಗಳನ್ನ ತರ್ತಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಇನ್ನೋವೇಷನ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿ ಮಿಷನ್ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಕಳೆದ 6 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದನೂ ಸತತವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ನಡೆದಿರೋದು. ಇನ್ನೇನು ಸದ್ಯದಲ್ಲೇ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯರೂಪಕ್ಕೆ ತರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಮುಂದಿನ ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ದಿನ ನಿಗದಿಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯರೂಪಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕರೆದು ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಕಾರ್ಯರೂಪಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕರೆದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡೋಂಥ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸಿ ಇವತ್ತೇನೆಲ್ಲ ಅಂಕಿಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ತಿಳಿಸಿರುವಂಥದ್ದಿದೆ. ಇನ್ನೇನಿದ್ರೂ ತಾವು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿ. ಕಳೆದ ವರ್ಷ ಇದು 2ನೇ ಏನು ಒಂದು ಉನ್ನತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಭಾಳ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ನಡೀತಿದೆ. ಇನ್ನು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೀಲಿ, ಏನೇ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ಕೊರತೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೇ ಇದನ್ನು ಇನ್ನೂ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಂಡೊಯ್ಯಲಿಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ತಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೀನಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಸರ್. So we have come to the finale, the grand end of this wonderful evening. I request Srimati Mamta Devi, DGM KITS, Department of Electronics, IT and BT, Government of Karnataka.
ಏನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್? ಓಕೆ, ಯಾವುದು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್.
ಸರ್ವರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಪುಸ್ತಕದಿ ದೊರೆತರವು ಪುಸ್ತಕದಿ ತಳೆದ ಮಣಿ, ಬೆತ್ತದುಳು ಬೆಳೆತರೆವು ತರು ತಳೆದ ಪುಷ್ಪ, ವಸ್ತು ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರವಂತಿರೀಕ್ಷಣೆಯಿಂದ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರೀತನದಿಂದಲ್ಲ ಮಂಕುತೆಮ್ಮ. ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳನ್ನು ಓದಿ ದೊರೆತ ಜ್ಞಾನ ತಲೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರುವ ಮಣಿಯಂತೆ ಆದರೆ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದ ಅರಿವು ಗಿಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದ ಹೂವಿನಂತೆ. ವಸ್ತುವಿನ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರವಾಗುವುದು ಒಳನೋಟದಿಂದಲೇ ಹೊರತು ಪಾಂಡಿತ್ಯದಿಂದಲ್ಲ. ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ನೀಡ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಗುಡ್ ಡೀಡ್. ಒಳ ಅರಿವು ಇರುವ ಈ 19 ಜನರ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ರದಾನ ಮಾಡಿದ ಈ ವಿಶೇಷ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತರಿಗೆ, ಗಣ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ವಂದನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುವ ಸದಾವಕಾಶ ಇಂದು ನನ್ನದಾಗಿದೆ. ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಹಾಗೂ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಅನುದಾನದಡಿ ಪರಿಶಿಷ್ಟ ಜಾತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಪಂಗಡದ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ದರ್ಜೆಗೇರಿಸುವ ಮತ್ತು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕವಾಗಿ ಸಮತೋಲನ ಕಾಯ್ದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ಯುನ್ಮಾನ, ಮಾಹಿತಿ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ, ಜೈವಿಕ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಹಾಗೂ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಮತ್ತು ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ನೂತನವಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಾರಂಭಗೊಳ್ಳುವ ಉದ್ಯಮಗಳಿಗೆ ಬೀಜದನ ನೀಡಿ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹಿಸುವ ಎಲಿವೇಟ್ ಉನ್ನತಿ ಯೋಜನೆಯ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವೀಕೃತಗೊಂಡಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಜಿಗಳನ್ನು ಹಲವು ಹಂತಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಯ್ಕೆಗೊಂಡ ಈ 19 ವಿಜೇತರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ರದಾನ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಉಪಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಹಾಗೂ ಸಂಸದರು ಹಾಗೂ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ವಿದ್ಯುನ್ಮಾನ, ಮಾಹಿತಿ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ, ಜೈವಿಕ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಹಾಗೂ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಮತ್ತು ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ, ಕೌಶಲ್ಯಾಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ, ಜೀವನೋಪಾಯ ಮತ್ತು ಉದ್ಯಮಶೀಲತೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಉನ್ನತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ಸಚಿವರಾದಂಥ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ CN ಅಶ್ವತ್ಥನಾರಾಯಣ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ ಸರ್. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ಇದರ ಅಪರ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳು, ವಿದ್ಯುನ್ಮಾನ, ಮಾಹಿತಿ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ, ಜೈವಿಕ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಹಾಗೂ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಮತ್ತು ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ಶ್ರೀ ರಮಣಾರೆಡ್ಡಿ ಸರ್ ತಮಗೂ ನನ್ನ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದಂಥ ಹಾಗೂ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ತೆರಳಿದಂಥ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಾಗಾಂಬಿಕೆ ದೇವಿ, ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಅಪರ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿ, ಸಮಾಜ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಇಲಾಖೆಯವರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದಂಥ ಆಯುಕ್ತರು, ಸಮಾಜ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಇಲಾಖೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರವಿಕುಮಾರ್ ಸುರ್ಪುರ್ ಸರ್ ತಮಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದಂಥ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ ವಿಷನ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂಥ ಶ್ರೀ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಸರ್ ತಮಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಲಾಖೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲರ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಬಿಂದು ಇಂದು ನಮ್ಮ 19 ಜನ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ವಿಜೇತರಾದಂಥ ಯುವ ಮನಸ್ಸುಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹಧನ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ಯಶಸ್ಸಿನ ಹಾಗೂ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ ನೀಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಮೀನಾ ನಾಗರಾಜ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಭಾಷಣ ಕೋರಿದಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಇ ಚಂಪಾ, ಪ್ರಧಾನ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥಾಪಕರು IT ಕಿಟ್ಸ್ ರವರಿಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಯಶಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಕಾರಣೀಭೂತರಾಗಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿ ಮಾನ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಹೋದ್ಯೋಗಿ ಮಿತ್ರರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಗಳಿಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇಂದು ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಬೇಕಾದರೆ ತೆರೆಮರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುವ ಅನೇಕ ಸನ್ಮನಸ್ಸುಗಳು ಕಾರಣವಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಯಶಸ್ಸು ಅವರಿಗೂ ಸಲ್ಲುತ್ತದೆ. ಇಂದಿನ ಈ ಸಂಜೆ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಸವಿನೆನಪುಗಳು ಮೂಡಿರುವಂತೆ ಮಾಡಲು ಪ್ರತ್ಯಕ್ಷವಾಗಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಪರೋಕ್ಷವಾಗಿ ಸಹಕರಿಸಿದ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಮತ್ತು ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕವಾಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you very much, madam. Those participants who have not received checks as yet, so kindly, there is a gentleman who will be giving it to you at the back. So please collect your checks right away. Only one company, one person has to collect it. So the MOA as well. So kindly do collect. And with that, we come to the end of this wonderful evening and program. Tea and coffee is being served outside, so kindly join us for tea and coffee. And I'd like to once again thank all the dignitaries, the members of the media, and all the winners for taking time out to be here this evening and making this a wonderful experience. Thank you all.